ball from McDonald, but just too far in front of Ojai. Kept alive. Henderson into the area, towards the spot. Huster to clear. And Henderson regains control. Good service towards McDonald's. Big decision here. And it's going to go against the dash. A free kick to Washington as the trainer is called onto the field.
So Jessica McDonald went down along with, can't see the number. Oh, here's the replay. Wow, Jessica going up with two players, knocking heads. Two of the three get up, but we've still got, I can't even see.
Yeah, it looks like Ali Krieger down.
Another scare for us all, another U.S. national teamer.
Get social with the Houston Dash. Like us, follow us, and watch us on all of your favorite social media outlets to get extended coverage of your Houston Dash. Log on to houston-soccer.com/social media for your social media dashboard. #DashOn.
My guess is with the signal that the trainer made is that it could be a concussion and that we want to be obviously very, very cautious about that. It looked like Ashlyn Harris was calling pretty quickly too for help. Normally, I would say it's nice for these players to have a break because it's usually so hot, but we've been pretty lucky to have pleasant temperatures here today. What do you see from that, Matt?
It's difficult to see. Definitely some contacts. McDonald's definitely good size, but we saw it last week, the Houston Dynamo taking on Seattle. Raul Rodriguez, just a glancing elbow from his teammate Tyler Derrick right above the eye. A concussion for Rodriguez. And a big laceration over an inch long. But definitely not a very good sight here. Medical staff on the fields. The stretcher. And Harris helping out. Ali Krieger from the D.C. area, from Woodbridge.
This is her third season with Washington Spirit, and she was also briefly part of the Washington Freedom in WPS. She was allocated to them on loan from Frankfurt FFC. She spent, I think, at least 4 years in Germany, so she was like the tour guide for the team when they were there for the 2011 Women's World Cup, and she's completely fluent in German, and she's had such an impact on this team, but also the U.S. national team. I mean, she started and played every minute in defense for the U.S. in the 2011 Women's World Cup. Only missed the 2012 Olympics due to a knee injury suffered, ironically, on the turf in Vancouver, which will host the Women's World Cup final this summer.
The last thing you want to see in any sport. Now straps being applied to help get Ali Krieger onto the stretcher.
It's got to be very unsettling for the teammates and the opponents. And of course, the coach, it's like he's not going to, he's not over there with the trainers. He doesn't know what's happening. It's a big question mark. But you can see Tori Huster kind of bringing the girls in together and starting to talk.
Krieger has dealt with her injuries before. You mentioned 2012, a torn ACL and MCL. January before the Olympics, had to miss out on London. And now Ashlyn Harris jogging over to her team.
And Ashlyn went through 2 separate ACL surgeries and still came back. Such an impressive career. You know, she was the starting keeper for the U19 U.S. team that won the inaugural youth championship.
Good news, you can see her moving her toes down there. Earlier, her moving her legs. So clearly...
Is this just being cautious?
Mobility in the lower extremities.
But what I want to point out about Ashlyn coming back from multiple injuries and then 11 years after winning the youth world title with the U.S., finally getting her first cap with the U.S. national team. And now she's clearly the number 2 for this summer in Canada.
A regular for the U.S. Ali Krieger this year, 6 of 7 games this year, including 5 starts. So a mainstay for Jill Ellis this year. And you hope, based off the scene on the field, this is all precautionary and just taking every extra measure to get her to the medical facilities in the safest way possible.
And it looks like number 24, Estelle Johnson, will be coming in for Ali Krieger for the Washington Spirit. She played for the Western New York Flash in the 2013 NWSL season, but did not play in 2014. The Spirit acquired her rights in a trade in the offseason, sending Tony Presley up to the Flash. So it's interesting to see a player take a year off and come back and find the form to play pro.
Ashlyn Harris, some final words for Ali Krieger.
And Krieger was tonight's captain for the Spirit, so I'm assuming that armband is being passed at least, you know.
And a good wave to the crowd from Ali Krieger. A great sign.
Very great sign.
I was about to say, Jen, I think the conversation between Harris and Krieger looked relatively calm. I think if it was something that looked bad, Harris might walk away, maybe look more distraught, but it seemed as positive as a conversation as you could see in these circumstances.
Yeah, and Ali wouldn't put her hand up and clap if something was serious.
So a tough player, Ali Krieger, 30-year-old from Woodbridge, Virginia, a star at Penn State.
Nice to see her fellow U.S. defender, Megan Klingenberg, checking on her too.
Joe.
So that's
hope to be a part of the group in Canada come June.
So we'll have a whole lot of stoppage time at the end of this half.
Krieger on the pavement now. We're taken to the visiting locker rooms where there's full medical facilities, and now back to the game.
And Estelle Johnson has taken her place in the center of the defense.
Krieger, a best 11 selection last year in the NWSL.